Good morning everyone, my name is Lucas, this is Fortis Forums. What we're going to talk about today is the new fisheye camera, 360 degrees view. Like I say here, that's a tiny little camera, size of my hand basically. It's a DS-2CD63C5G0-IVS. It has the built-in microphone. You can put in the SD card to it. It's a 256 gigabytes maximum. What connections do you have here? You have the PoE at the back. You have the microphone in, audio output, alarm inputs and outputs. Also, you have the DC 12 volts if you like to power it locally and just use the data, simple data. As you see here, a few people more join the session. That's fine. It's all going to be recorded so you can view it later on. As I said, it's a new fisheye camera, and what we can do, I'm just going to show you how to open the camera. So you see, it just slides up, and you have the SD card slot here on the side of it. It has the IR, so it's working perfectly fine during the night time. It's a 2mm lens. So it's really wide. There's a new type of the lens itself. It's Immersion, so it's really great looking. It's way better than we used to have the Hikvision fisheye before. It's much clearer image, much more neat image. You'll see it in a second as well. Just looking at the stats here. So what we have there, we're just going to log in. I hope you can hear me well. If it's all good, that's great. So we're just going to log into our camera right now. I'm just going to show you how the camera look like actually in a real installation. So there is. This is our camera login page. We're just going to log in via the web browser. So go ahead, admin, and what the password is on that camera. So once we logged in, this is our model number of the camera. There's a current version of the firmware. What we're going to start with, we're just going to go live view. I want to show you the live view of the camera. So there's two types of the live view you can look at. There's a software that you can view via the web browser, a software application like in IVMS 4200 or HIC Central. There's three types of the mount, so you can have it on the ceiling, on the wall, or a flat surface. It could be a desk or so. Display mode. So this is the different type of display mode, how the picture is going to be shown by this camera on the software right now. So by default, it's a 12 megapixel. It's a really high resolution 12 megapixel picture. So it's always recommended to have this picture recorded as a default picture, and then add an extra channels like a dewarp channels to the recorder, because the whole idea of adding those channels to the NVR, to the DVR, it's about to 12 megapixel picture. It will be the only one. It's a default fisheye, and the rest of them will be actually dewarped picture, which with a lower resolution, so they wouldn't look that nice as a 12 megapixel. And anyway, later on in the playback, you can still dewarp the picture anyway. So just going to show you different types of the display mode. So just bear with me there. So we're just going to go to software, and we're just going to go and try a different display mode. So this is the kind of two panoramic sides of the camera. Like you see here, you can see the ceiling, no problem. You can move the camera around. And also you have this kind of round picture, so you can zoom it in. It's a really huge panoramic, and you can go across. All those views are available in IVMS software. I'm going to show you later on as well. That's another one. So you can move that red zone and actually move the camera like a PTZ camera around the edges there. The same different views. So they have different view for different scenarios. It depends where you're going to install the camera. It could be a shop, it could be a warehouse, and you could have it anywhere else. So this is the multiple view screen as well. You can move them around. You can set them up as a separate view in IVMS software, or just look at them via the web browser. So you see here, I can move the camera around and it straight away moves the box, and you can see everything nice and clear. Like, I was really surprised that this type of the camera that we used to have, like, this is way better than whatever you had before. The picture is much clearer. You can actually recognize people looking at them. There it is. It's like perfectly fine. Quad screen, again, every single one of them you can move around. You can adjust the angle to the way you want. You can also do like a zoom in if you like, just, you know, scroll in, scroll out there. And again, another one. There's multiple views, so you can adjust your view to the way you want. All right, so this is the multiple views. One note there for you, one tip: if you have the camera mount type changed to like a surface mount, it won't show you the advanced configuration settings. I will show you in a second what I'm talking about. If you like to have multiple views and add them to the recorder, by default, like I said, there's a fisheye camera that will actually allow you just to see the view like this. So in this case, you have just a fisheye ball. You can change the different, like a squat screen that will give you full channels, full PTZ streams. I will show you how to connect them later on as well. But before we go there, I'd just like to show you how to actually change the settings of the camera. Like you see here already, this camera is working like a people counting camera. So you just need to go to configuration. In configuration, what we have here, it's the people counting. It's I would say it's an average people counting. Like you see, there's a line here and across that you can adjust to the way you want, and that will display the actual how many people enter and leave through that zone. So there's a line crossing. Basically, you can choose the direction. So our entrance would be just this way from the door towards the counter, and that will actually count how many people got in. What else you have there? It's a heat map configuration. In a heat map configuration, it's really simple, straightforward. So it's, again, you just select your zone of interest. It would be really useful for retail shops, like, you know, they want to see where the people actually going in what direction, or where is the most busy part of the shop. They might just need to change some bits on the shelves, then rearrange the shelving there. Linkage action, you have the notify surveillance center, so that will send information to the actual software. Interaction analysis, that's another great feature. What you have here, like, you have few directions, you can choose in what direction it will actually follow the people. The people are coming in or coming out. Like, so if you go right and left, up and down here, you can see in the later report I'm going to show you in a second, in what direction that people are going to, most of it, and which direction they're coming from. So you can see the full path of every single person, kind of, you know, showing the most busy places or directions they're taking, and it could be a warehouse as well. Like, so we go to the application. In application, what we have here, it's a daily report. So we're just going to focus on today. We're going to check with the people counting statistics. Like I said, it's not really, you know, as accurate as a proper people counting camera. But if you like to go with statistics and just average count, that's very good. So like you see here, this is how many people on a certain time got in. People entered or exited. You can select different chart. and line chart if you like as well. So if you're a chart freak like I am a little bit, that might be not enough, but you know, it's still show you the nice way how many people in the flow, how many people got into that to that shop. And heat map statistics are quite cool as well. So for today we can just display the map, and you can see the most visited place in our lobby here in the reception. So where the people are usually you know, standing or spending most of the time in those areas. When you see the red, that's the highest time there, the longest time they spend in this area. And the blue, it's obviously no, there was pretty much no one there, or they're just passing by. But you can change that to a different statistic type by a heat map, so you can see the actual footpath. So if you go there, that's it, it's going to change it. So you can see straight away people are going through the door and going behind the counter, and the behind the counter is the most busiest area. And we're quite busy recently, I would say. It's for the last months, it's been mad. So yes, we're open, no problem. You can walk in and pick up your equipment, or tag one of the sales guys in an office, obviously. Another one you have there in this intersection analysis report. So as I said, as I showed you before, there's a flow in and out. So you have 4 directions, so you can check from A, flow in A, and what direction people are going to. So we can just go and actually see here. So from direction A, if someone is approaching from the A direction to B, C, and D, you can see how many people approximately and the percentage wise are going to. So if you choose like a door as a coming from the C, so flow from the C up to a different direction. So 2% of people are sitting on the couch. Most of them will go A, and B, it will go upstairs. So you can clearly see where the people are going to. That's actually pretty much nice look of, you know, the term how the it's kind of displayed on the picture here now. So what else we have there? So those features, no, they're not only available within the web browser. You can access them via the IVMS 4200 or the Hik Central software if you have there. I'm just going to show the actual IVMS software right now. So I'm just going to minimize, or just going to have it open here actually. So again, we have the main view of the camera. This is our nice 12 megapixel picture. And I can advise you straight away, please use the 265 compression straight away, because without the 265 compression, if you just have it as a 264, it will be about 12 megapixel, and sorry, 12 megabits image. So now you can see it's a still nice crystal clear image with the 265 compression. And if you like to dewarp this image in my web browser, I'm sorry, in my software, I just go right click and choose one of the options here. It says fisheye expansion. So for the moment, when the first time I turned this option, I was like, what? There's nothing happened. I can't do anything. On the left hand side bottom corner, actually, do you see this eye here? You just need to click that eye and you choose different dewarp option. So now you have those options that are available in the web browser are available here as well. So you can move around. You can do the same in the playback. Once you have the the camera recorded to your recorder, you can do the dewarp of the actual fisheye there as well. So again, it's really straightforward. Once you know, as like you see, this is just the fisheye eye on the bottom left hand side corner, so you can choose different options to view the image. So like you see, this is like a fish ball. There you go, you can move around different directions as well. It's really cool view. There is our minimal, here you go, our temperature screen and camera as well. That's our lobby here. I've seen this type of the camera installed in the warehouse between the shelves. It's really amazing picture. It's covered a whole thing. So if someone drive in a forklift, and you can exactly see what exactly happened if there was an incident, or so who pick up anything from the shelf, that would be all recorded, no problem, because of the 360-degree angle. So you see everything, like if I go up, I can even see the ceiling here, no problem whatsoever. So go back to this view, no problem. What about the report in IVMS software? The same as in the Hik Central, you can do the IVMS full 200 report as well. In order to do that, to pull all information from your camera, I would recommend to use the SD card. And the SD card you can fit in, as I said before, is a 265 gigabytes, sorry. So that's the maximum size of the SD card, and that will store all the data for you, as you see here. So for example, people counting, this is our people counting, and we can just choose the date. So you can choose for today and try to search within the database. So here you go. It's a nice graph and nice chart how many people got in approximately in certain hours. You can change that, and you can obviously export that as an Excel file. And once you have that exported as an Excel file, as a CSV file, you can do anything with that data. As well as you have the heat map. If you select the heat map, the same as in a web browser, you can just generate the heat map, and you can see the most busiest places, like how long the people are staying in, behind the counter, obviously at the PC, and processing the orders for you, or crowd trends, so the footpath of people going in and out. So you can retrieve that information from here as well. You can do the daily report, weekly report, and monthly, annually. You can do all that and export everything to an Excel. Very straightforward, nice looking, user-friendly design. All right, so people count in here, and we have this report done. So like you see here, that's really straightforward camera. The picture is brilliant. You can see much bigger area right now. I remember the previous cameras, they weren't that wide with a picture. I mean, there were like some edges when you do the de-warp. There were like an edges on the corner of the camera that you couldn't see anything. You couldn't see as much as you can with this type of the camera. But this one is not a problem. It's brilliant. Like, so the camera can be connected to the recorder. So if you like to connect the camera to the recorder, we just need to get the camera working as not the fisheye only, but we need to pull some more views of the camera. So quickly, before we go there, before I reboot the camera, because in order to change the hardware, I will need to reboot the camera. I'm just going to show you how does it look like on the app on the phone, because you can also view it on the phone, no problem, and you can also have the de-warp on the phone on the latest Hik Connect app. So I'm just going to show you the app on the phone there now. There it is. This is the app on the phone. Like you see, I have the fisheye connected, and so I'm just going to go to fisheye. There it is. And like you see here, I have the standard view. I can change the HD to full 12 megapixel if you like to. Obviously, that would take a lot of bandwidth of the broadband on site and off your phone if you're not connected to the Wi-Fi. So on the bottom of the page, you have this fisheye option, and you can choose different displays as well. So like you see, it's nice, cool looking. I can just X out this yoke, and there it is. That's the fisheye as well. So I can change from the quad screen back to fisheye, and and change the different views altogether. So you see, it's very straightforward. Like in this option, you have either on the ceiling or on the wall. So you have the two options you can choose from, and you can choose those. If you have the camera, you know, added to the recorder as one of the dewarper channels, you know, it will only just show you the actual view of the camera that you need, and you can just use the PTZ control to navigate, to move the camera around. And so that's actually, you know, working perfectly fine on the HikConnect app on the latest version. I'd just like to show you the actual recorder, how to add the camera to the recorder right now, which is really important because we have many calls like this, just people trying to add the camera to the recorder. And if you won't change the setting, I mean the display mode, it won't there will be no virtual channel, the dewarp channel won't exist. So just gonna log into my recorder here. And in the meantime, I'm just gonna use like a full split screen. So that's gonna ask me if you like to reboot the camera. Yes, I like to reboot the camera. So that'll take a second. So we'll go back quickly to our recorder. We have already a few cameras connected. So just wait for the camera to come back here now. Like you see here, if you go to the camera management, you can do the same locally on the recorder. This is our camera IP address, so it's 192.168.1.138 in this case. If you like to add any other channel of this camera, like you see here, the channel number here, it's 1. The best way of doing it would be just clicking the add button, enter the IP address, enter the username and password. Before I click OK, I just wait for the camera and just make sure it's back online. I just need a minute to bring up the picture back on. So like I said, no, the camera, I would say it's designed more for like a shop or the reception area or a warehouse where you can actually view quite more, lots of information you can pull out from this camera. You can do intrusion detection, line crossing as well if you need to trigger the alarms, so it could notify the monitor station if you need to. With intrusion detection, here you go, the camera is back on. So I'm just gonna log in. So now in the hardware, we have 4 channels. So each channel is different here, different view. So that means, my first channel, I mean the fisheye, it's gone, which is not always a great idea, because if you use the 4 channels without the fisheye, then you have no way of dewarping the actual fisheye. So this picture is going to be recorded this way all the time. But just going to show you, there's an option there with a fisheye ball and the 3 PTZ if you like. That's another option there. I'm not going to change that now, so you don't have to wait for the camera to come back again. I'm just going to go back to configuration of our recorder and just click the OK. So like you see here, I already have some channel add-in. So I'm just going to select only the channels that I want, additional channels that I don't have yet. So click OK. And there you are. I have an extra 3 channels to the first one. So every single one of them would be different type of like a PTZ view. So I need to change them. I can manually change them on the recorder, like in a PTZ menu, or you can just go to the camera itself and change the view, change the angle. So if I go back to live view, and there is first camera, first channel. I mean, sorry, not this one. I'll change it to main view because it's a de-warped camera. There you go. So you can see I can move the camera like a PTZ camera and adjust the angle. So this picture is going to be recorded this way now. So it's basically it's going to be fixed then. So without a fisheye ball, you know, you kind of have to use that kind of picture then, and it's all going to be recorded like a typical camera. So that's why I would recommend to use the fisheye ball and additional like a 3 de-warped pictures if you like to have them. So take that as a tip there. All right, as a trick for your recorder. But also when you go to the camera management, you should notice there that it will take a bit more of the channels as well. So when you look at the camera list, it's already like, you know, in the case if that is an 8-channel recorder, it would take like 4 of my channels straight away. So that's another thing. You know, if you like to use multiple channels, you need to make sure the math is right. The counting how many cameras actually you're going to add in. If there would be more than one fisheye, maximum you have, it's the 4 channels of that camera. So you might just count, like, you know, in the case of a 16-channel recorder, there will be like only 4 cameras you can add in with the 4 streams of that camera, unless you just add the fisheye ball on its own without the de-warped picture, and you just de-warp the picture in the software. You can do it in the IVMS, as I said, or you can do it even in the VS player. Has the de-warp option. So if you download that 12 megapixel picture, you just use the VS player to de-warp it if you like to. So once you have the de-warped picture, it's going to be perfectly fine. I can show you actually the playback of that camera. So I just want to make sure the camera is up here, been recorded, and that's it, just the right time. So this is our recorder playback. So again, if I like to do the playback here, I just go fisheye expansion and I have multiple screens. And again, if you go to that eye, I can choose different type of the view. So probably this way it's going to be better to actually navigate and then download the picture to your PC, and then de-warp it on the PC in the VS player as well. So like you see, it's really nice looking there. All right, so yeah, the camera is in stock right now. You can order those cameras in our sales department. Just give it a call to one of the lads, to your sales manager. They will look after you, and just because you watched this video, you're definitely going to get the discount. Just mention Fortis Forums and they know what you're talking about then. So yes, thank you very much guys for watching. As I said, this is going to be recorded, so you know how to set up the camera now. It's really straightforward, like you see here. And you can pull the information, different type of information, different data from the camera via the web browser or the IVMS 4200. So it's like you see here, it's a brilliant piece of equipment we have here. So if you're looking for sales price, as I said, talk to our sales guys. They're gonna get you a great price. We have this camera now, in our office as well. If you like to see a live picture like feed, you can walk in. We can show you on the screen of the recorder how does it look like there as well. If you don't believe this stream live, and it is live. So anyway, I hope you all enjoying it, and next week actually we're going to talk about this new device, and I'll see you on the next webinar then. Be in touch. Take care. Thank you very much, guys.